Ho, ho, ho! 'Tis the time to be merry. And what would be merrier than to complete Titan Quest's Act 5 with the Santa set? The Santa set is a great set to use if you don't care what your character looks like. It is very defensive, as it hands you the maximum cold, lightning, poison, pierce and stun resistance. It grants you an additional 40% elemental resistance, lots of armor and armor protection, almost 2000 health points and a huge amount of defensive ability. I have decided not to use any other equipment for this run, so we can focus on the set alone. That means no Crystal Tear artifact for cold damage, no occult rings for casting speed, and no Amulet of the Links for more total speed. So I've prepared an accomplished hero, of course with the female character model, as it is tradition in any glitchless run, and I chose two fitting masteries. For me it was pretty clear that for a character who allegedly lives on the North Pole, the Rune Mastery and the Storm Mastery were the perfect choice. And luckily for us, the combination of the Storm and Rune Mastery is a very speedy one. So we'll be running around as a Thunderer. Now the Ice Shard will be the main attack. It's a very nice skill that you can spam. It has basically zero cooldown. So the speed in which you fire those shards is only depending on the casting speed, which makes it a bit sad that we didn't use any occult rings. I've maxed out the base skill and both of the modifiers, and that will give us a lot of damage for the price of lots of mana. We can raise our damage output with the skill Heart of Frost, which is a modifier of the Storm Nimbus. The Storm Nimbus itself does not help in any way, we will not be using any weapon attacks, but the Heart of Frost will give us 52% additional cold and frostburn damage. The same is true for the Eye of the Storm, which will boost elemental damage by 100% whenever it is active. So we max out the Eye of the Storm, we choose the Storm Wisp, and as a nice little bonus, Santa now has a little helper. The final skill from the Storm Mastery that we will be using is the Squall with the modifier Impaired Visibility, which will be a great addition both offensively and defensively. This skill will make our enemies miss some of their attacks, and it also lowers their resistance. Now, since we've spent so many points on the Storm Mastery, we don't have many points left for the Rune Mastery. But the main thing I want from the Rune Mastery is Sacred Rage. Now, we all know Sacred Rage, we all love Sacred Rage. All of my speedrun homies love the Sacred Rage. It gives us a huge speed bonus, 46% total speed, whenever we are below 40% of our maximum health. So we maxed that one out, and we got two more skill points. One of them we put into Thunderstrike, which will give us a little dash ability, and the other one will land in the Rune of Life, which will raise the movement speed even more. So now we've got 10% from the Rune of Life, 10% from the Santa Boots, and whenever we are in Sacred Rage, we get 46% from that as well, which gives us in total 166%, which is the maximum. So while I was explaining all that, you will have seen the basic strategy of this run. It's mainly try to get into Sacred Rage if it's feasible, if it's quick enough, and then whenever you see a boss, you place the Squall on it and then shoot them with your Ice Shards. Funnily enough, the great defensive abilities and stats of the Santa set, all those resistances, all the health, all the defensive ability, now hinders us, because the one thing that would make this run even better would be a quick entry into Sacred Rage. And with the health regeneration, we leave Sacred Rage quite early as well. So after all this talking, we are already at Austrian Na, the Greedy Warlord and the Tyrannical Mage. But they also don't really stand a chance against the Ice Shards. You can see it right there. The Mage also goes down quite quickly. There we go. And we can continue to the Great Shroom. Same thing here. We cast the Wisp, place the Squall, throw some Ice Shards, and it is, well, relatively easy to kill. After that we can free Ilva, or at least the person that we believe to be Ilva. Once again, even though they place a battle standard, we have no issues with those warriors. We then fight a huge amount, well, not a huge amount of gods, we fight 4 gods at the same time. Luckily we've got a tank. Same thing as before, the shards just deal lots of damage. You can see it especially... not now, okay. You can see it there as well. Freya takes a little more time to kill. We don't stand really optimal. We get into Sacred Rage, which is great. And then Baldur is just some easy picking. We can then enter the Bifrost. Don't even have to wait for the Bifrost to appear. And we are down to Mimir. Mimir's Maze. He asks us which one is it. I'm quite sure I know which one it is. The dead one, basically. So we can leave again and enter Nidhöggur's cave, the root of Yggdrasil. Now Nidhöggr is defensive, but the offensive abilities of Nidhöggr are not great. It's basically just a huge hitbox with lots of health and no danger whatsoever. Goes down after a few seconds as well. In the Fire Shrine we've got the Fire Lady. We need the Fire Relic. She deals fire damage, which we are not completely resistant to. But she also is not resistant to cold damage. Then there is the most hated fight. Ylva Loki. We've got some warriors joining us here as well, so we've got to take care of them. And then after the transition is where the fun begins. And you will hear that sound a little bit more frequently now. We get stunned by the fires. Loki deals a lot of damage. Loki dodges a lot. Fitting for a trickster god, but very annoying for a speedrun. Doesn't matter, goes down quickly as well. Now for the last fight, the Fire Lord Surt. We fight him in this regular form. First, goes down very easy. Then we prepare a little squall, fire some shards, and off he goes. We repeat that process. He appears and doesn't even get to attack. And a third time. Now he does attack, but still easy. Right. This is basically the Santa speedrun. I hope you enjoyed. It is Christmas Eve today, as this is published. Merry Christmas and enjoy the holidays.
I suppose the time is